Sullivan County has one of the highest overdose rates. So not only are people struggling with opioid use disorders, but they're actually dying from it. And a lot of people don't really realize that, opioid use disorder, it's a medical condition. It's just like diabetes. It's just like having a broken bone. It's something that you have to sometimes manage long-term, not just kind of acutely when things happen. And we have to look at treatments for those. There are actually FDA approved medications for those that are out. There's 3 of them. A lot of people have heard of methadone. It's been around for decades. There's another one called naltrexone, and then one of the newer ones out, and I say new, and then meaning new, it's over a decade out, but buprenorphine or Suboxone, some people have heard of it by that name. And they're helpful, and I think they help with a lot of things. And one of the things that helps out with just sometimes when people are acutely struggling with opioid withdrawal, it physically feels awful. Your stomach aches, you have headaches, you're throwing up, you have gastrointestinal issues, you just feel miserable. You can't sleep, you're grumpy, irritable. These medicines can have a significant impact, sometimes within minutes to hours of using them for withdrawals. But one of the things that people struggle with as they're in recovery for a while is the cravings. They get this desire, this urge to want to use, and they may not be using, and they really don't want to use anymore. And what these medications can help out with is that craving, that desire to go use the medication. A lot of times people come and say, well, how long do I need to be in treatment for? You need to be in treatment as long as it's appropriate for you. And that could mean days, but it could mean months. And for some people, I actually saw some patients this morning. I was going through our notes, we were talking, we were updating things. I said, I'm just curious, like, how long have we been meeting? And we've really been meeting for 9 years. So I have a patient in the area and have been seeing for over 9 years. And that's just the treatment plan, and that's fine. And we're okay with it. And we see each other every couple months and we check in and doing great. You can't do this alone. I mean, I don't think I've ever met anybody that says I've done this on my own and I've conquered it and I beat it. There's this stigma of not being able to talk about it, and it's not okay to have this, and it's not a real thing. You can just kind of muster some energy and get through this problem that you're having, and it's not true. We've all heard the experience. Well, my friend tried blah blah blah, and it didn't work for them. Well, to go back to like the diabetes or the broken bone kind of example I gave. If you have a broken arm and you put a cast on your leg, it's the right idea, but it's the wrong treatment plan, right? And so sometimes we have to educate people that this is how we use medications when you're in with opioid withdrawal. It's different when you're in maintenance therapy and you're doing well and you're in a strong recovery program. I think one of the other barriers, particularly with Sullivan County, and just kind of where we sit in the world of things in New York, is the logistics of getting to an appointment, transportation, pharmacy, some of those kind of things. What do I do? I have the job. How am I supposed to get to a treatment plan? And some of those barriers, I think, are what really kind of hold a lot of people back from kind of really moving forward where they need to be. There's some really fascinating functional MRI studies where they look at the brain and they look at somebody who stays on medication-assisted treatment with Suboxone or methadone or buprenorphine or one of these type of medications, and they look at them months down the road, and when the areas of the brain that light up when someone's struggling, when they're actually using substances, those areas of the brain stop lighting up. So in other words, your brain looks like a non-substance using brain after you've been on these medications for months. Recovery is different from sobriety, is different from using. And so we have to have the programs and the treatment options that meet people where they are in their road to recovery. When you're working with people that are struggling with opioid use disorders, you say, why are you in treatment? What do you want? And they say, well, I want to go back to work and I want my kids back and I want to have some extra money so that I can, buy birthday presents for somebody. And for me, that's when you say we've done our job here. We've helped people. We've got them to their living, and they, I always call it the high quality life, a fulfilled life. You feel content and your days have a sense of purpose to you. And you're not just worried about when you're going to get your next fix somewhere. And that's how we move forward and give people opportunities to go to work and to be flexible if people need help, like somebody needs to take care of my kids for an hour or two while I go to a treatment program, or I go to a support group program or something like that. Like those are the things that we need to kind of bring around people and really kind of support them where they need to be. Our overdose rates are not going down, and sometimes they actually might be going up. And so we have to change how we think about this. We have to have a different model of care. It's not just going to see somebody and getting a medication. It's about making a difference in your life. It's taking care of your mental health. It's taking care of your physical health.
Treatment takes time. It also gives time back.